Who do you stand for? Ah, is ah. Yeah. Ah, that's cold. Incredibly cold. Ooh. Oh shit. What is this? I don't get this. Tide has been pulled back. Stop. Visits. Moving forward. The tides are moving forward. This is where great males such as Laplace developed his theory of tides, but even before that, other workers worked on the ocean tides and how it's influenced by the moon and the sun. The combined of its effects is what produces the tides, while the water moves towards and away from the shore. It also explains waves, how waves are developed in the sea. All of that was studied and found to be led to the invention of the tide, a set of PDEs, or a mathematical model for tide theory, for how the ocean works, how waves begin and how they crash, or how they the development and their journey to completion of waves. So this was, I mean, obviously the world was very different back then. It was pretty much the only thing that one could study rigorously. And anyway, this is going to hurt a lot. The water is already above my knees. I don't have to go anymore, because actually an ambition of mine is to learn how to swim. As well as fishing. If I could swim and fish, and I can survive off the land as well as on the land. Obviously, what's also important is if I can take it one step further and learn how to farm, how to cook a variety of recipes, and how to hunt. Hunter, farming, cooking, in addition to fishing and swimming, will serve me well. Let me think of other skills I could do with. navigation, sailing and navigation is another useful skill. Like if you're in the night on a ship, on a fishing trawler, and it's good to know where you are on the world map and how to get to another location on the world map. That's all. So having geographical knowledge is always good. And if I want to do better on land, I ought to learn automotive, mechanical engineering, possibly. And if I want to do well in the sky, I ought to learn aviation and aerospace engineering. They're all disciplines of engineering. I mean, not all, but all the ones that can boost my ability to survive and thrive and flourish on my own. Of course, it's nice to work with others, but in the end, I was born alone and I will die alone. And there's nothing wrong with that. One should not fear what will certainly happen. Death is a certainty, and it's coming for all of us. They say that death is the greatest equalizer. Yes, well, so is time. And you can achieve what you set your brain on. What you set your brain on, or your heart, you can achieve. And one should not fear what is outside of one's control. And one should appreciate engineering structures such as this one. Bridge structures, pillars to obviously support the whole thing. And in a way, this was and these was I did not plan to swim at all, because it is of no use to me right now to swim. Obviously, do I know how to float? I feel like floating is pretty straightforward. To keep yourself afloat, one must understand Archimedes' principle. Though the water will keep you afloat as long as you displace an equal amount of weight in water. So you must submerge all of your weight into the water and not generate any other forces that would cause you to acquire some other state. The floating state is one described by Archimedes long ago, hence we were able to swim many thousands of years ago. We've always known how to swim, of course not underwater, because we don't have gills. We don't have anything to extract oxygen from water like fish do. However, we can obviously make oxygen tanks and other such machines that can help us to breathe underwater. But in terms of what we give in our natural body, our body is not an aquatic, oceanic, marine organ. Now, today is Monday, and the moon is almost full. Almost a full moon. It appears full on camera because of the optical distortion, but the camera lens cannot pick it up. Yes, the moon is almost a full moon. Makes sense. And then the moon will become a crescent again, probably by the time of the end of the holy month of Ramadan. That's why actually Ramadan, that's actually how they started the holy month of Ramadan. Anyway, so Laplace invented the equations to explain the theory of tides, but it was worked on before by people like Euler and Lagrange. Just Laplace developed the wave theory of tides. And to his amazement, he discovered that spherical Bessel functions or spherical harmonics can be substituted as solutions to the equations which describe tidal theory. So, it's amazing how the moon acting as a natural satellite and the sun are just perfectly positioned in order to create tides and give us the oceans and shorelines and all that. So, obviously, you can think of the sun and the moon as control systems. They direct, or they give the direction to the ocean waves, and of course this calls for a rigorous study of mathematical analysis, or rigorous application of mathematical analysis. Students, take your mathematics learning very seriously. Be it self-guided, self-learned, self-taught. Like Oliver Heaviside did not receive a formal education, he was self-taught, and he obviously made some major contributions to our understanding of electromagnetic theory, in particular EM wave propagation. So mathematical analysis is of critical importance. No vector calculus, no PDE, but most importantly, I integrate that all by knowing linear algebra. And then you can study the more advanced geometries, like going beyond just simple polygons and polyhedra, but more complicated 3D shapes, like 3D geometries. And number theory has all been, there are many number theory conjectures and perhaps postulates that are even yet to be proven, because you need an infinite amount of computation or processes in order to prove these theorems. But that can obviously be subsided if one does an absolute rigorous mathematical proof of all number theory state problems, as well as some of the more the more complex ones, like the can we prove that all the zeros lie in between 0 and 1 of the Argon diagram for the can we prove that all of the zeros of the Riemann zeta function in the complex plane, so when you do an analytical continuation, lie at exactly the point 1/2. If we can prove it, then we will solve a prime number, the biggest prime number mystery, which is, do they have an inherent order? The prime numbers, obviously, as early as Gauss studied these fascinating numbers, these special numbers in mathematics, magic numbers in mathematics called the prime numbers, and people are still working on it. It's called the Riemann hypothesis, and it's one of the millennial prize problems, because it's one of the biggest problems in mathematics. It will unite different fields of mathematics, give us a much better understanding of how different fields of mathematics can be connected to each other, and one should not take it lightly. One should not take it lightly. one should take every moment of it seriously.